G'day and welcome back for more Scrapyard Survival. And it is a very good day. Why is my sign crashing? Oh, I bet my sensor's picking up something it shouldn't. Anyway, it's a very good day because I've returned, we've got all our ice sorted, and it's actually quite a good amount of ice. I think it was 294,000? Yeah. 294,000 kilograms of ice. And that means we've got a reliable, repeatable way of collecting ice from the pole. Which means the next step is converting that ice into fuel and then converting that fuel into thrust to get us off this planet and escape. But we've got to do that with style. Everything must be done with a degree of style. So when I was thinking about how to get off this planet, there were a few things that were important to me. One, we're on a server. I want this to be something that can be done as a shared group effort. And coming up with a way to do that can sometimes be quite tricky in Space Engineers because so many things are so easy to do on your own and sometimes easier to do on your own. But that's not where the fun is for this sort of setup. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to scout a location for a launch facility. And I'm going to let everybody contribute to that launch facility, whether that's through delivering parts, whether that's through adding builds, decorations, all that sort of stuff. So my base here is still my base, but we're going to have another facility which is going to need a train station because the train is going to be how the ice is going to get moved across. I'm going to always keep the train parked here at my base, but I want to have that other facility able to have the ice offloaded to it. Or, trying to thought. Should I actually process the ice here and make some fuel tanks that I can load up as separate things to deliver fuel? Just fuel to the other facility. Because I've already got power here and that means I don't... Actually, that's a better idea. Yeah. Okay. Ice stays here. Fuel goes there. It's an extra step of processing, but it also means that we won't need as much power at the launch facility because the fuel is already processed here and can then be moved there. Yes, I like this plan. I like this plan a lot. So I'll need to make myself some fuel cars. I actually do have one around here somewhere that can be easily upgraded to actually have more than just one tank on it. It's got one tank and I could replace those wheels at either end with 2 more tanks. And then that's 3 tanks that I can tow across there, across to the other facility. I'm planning on building this I'm planning on setting this up somewhere reasonably close by to my base so that we can get back and forth between the two relatively easily, but far enough away that performance is not an absolute nightmare. Hop into the nugget. Things to search for with a new facility. It needs to probably be on flat ground, so finding a lake is probably going to be best. But I would like it to be something that looks a little bit different to my current lake so that it's easy to tell which one's which. Which means I'm thinking maybe finding a lake with a mountain next to it, possibly bigger than the little hill on the side of my lake here. I also need to make sure that wherever I pick is not a spot someone's already settled, because that'd be a bit rude. It's like, hey, I built my base there. What are you doing? Oh yeah, this could be a good spot. Plenty of flat area. Like, obviously we don't need the enormous flat area, but it also means that people can move around the facility fairly easily. I think maybe in this little area with that, don't really know how to describe that bit of sand. The number 2, or the Z from this perspective. Yeah. I think down there could be quite nice. There's a bit of mountain, bit of hills. We could even... Oh, hang on. Hang on. Just had another thought. But to do that, let's just see. I want to see how flat this is on top of the mountain. Oh, do we do on top of the mountain? It's not very flat. Nah. No. I had originally thought to do this on top of the mountain, but then I was like, actually, that's going to make it really hard for stuff to be brought up there because people can't use their rovers to get up there. It'll be really dangerous. Much better to stay down at sea level. Nice, interesting looking area. We've got the hill behind us. Sunrise we'll see every day. Sunset will happen behind those mountains, but that's okay. Cool. Alright, so my goal to start setting this up. Number 1, I need a power supply here. Number 2, I need a survival kit here. And number 3, I need storage here. So that's GPS, launch. Now let's see if there's any scrap around here that might be useful. Because I might try and bring a building here first. Oh, what's down there? Ooh! That's a truck I haven't seen yet. Yeah. Go collect that. I haven't seen one of these trucks yet. Nice. Let's grab that and take that home. It's very Optimus Prime. I like it. Might be able to get someone to turn that into... Actually, I could maybe turn that into a little fuel semi-trailer. Yeah. Turn the rail car into a trailer for this truck and use this as my fuel truck. Because even if I change my mind and I end up building the fuel facility at the O2H2 gens at the launch facility, having a fuel truck that sits near the fuel tanks would be kind of cool. So my idea for the launch vehicle is I'm hoping to see if there's a way I can make it modular in some respects so that people can provide their own modules to attach to it so they can launch with it. Or for those who would rather design their own launch vehicle, they can have a launch vehicle, they can have their own launch platform at the launch facility so they can launch at the same time. So my hope is that everyone will launch at the same time. It'll be a fun spectacle. What has that flatliner got on it? Is that a hydrogen tank? I think that could be a hydrogen tank. I think that could be a very lucky find. So this launch thing, if I'm gonna have, 20 plus small grid modules loaded on it, and each of those is gonna be kind of like a mini apartment for people, it's gonna need a lot of fuel. Which means I'm probably gonna need help from everybody on the server to find all the parts. And this is a cargo container. Oh well. Still worth grabbing, probably. But that's kind of the idea that I had, was I wanted this to be something that needed help from everybody. Because the more people involved with it, the better, in some ways. Alright, are any of these buildings going to be potentially useful at my new site? We could take this sort of fuel module thing, even though it's not an actual fuel canister. And we don't have any large grid fuel tanks in any of the scrap. I could use it as a kind of a nice little visual only, well, nice little styled thing. Because if I change the sorters up and put something else in place, and then maybe take out some of the blocks underneath and put in some small hydrogen tanks, I could use this thing as it is. Yeah, let's begin with that. I'll loosen this up and I should be able to carry this whole thing back. I'm going to try my best in designing this launch thing and all of the base to utilize and repurpose existing bits of scrap so it still keeps that good scrap feel to everything as much as possible. I don't think any of these other buildings are really going to suit my purposes, but I should probably quickly check them, see if there's anything useful in them. I'm just going to pop this outside since it's large grid. I feel like a bar is what I want. I want something that's kind of a central place where people can hang out, much like my bar, that I could use. Maybe I could turn another building into a different style of bar. Let's see what we find. Just trying to think of what would be a good start to a shared facility like this, and what's going to make us feel like we've got a home away from home. And I think something like the bar is the way to go. That's someone's base. Yeah. But I also do need to find a power tower. That also looks like it's probably someone's base. Oh, we got a wind turbine. Head down there and grab that. I do also have 2 in my scrapyard, actually. Couldn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to have more than that, though. Probably need a whole little wind farm going. Even just to be able to charge up people's vehicles when they turn up. That should drop. Yep. Alright, easy. I think I'll take this straight over to the new facility, rather than taking it home. Start delivering the parts right away. I should think I managed to get it over there without knocking it over. Will make it a lot easier to build this thing. Thinking of the troubles I had with moving my first wind turbine compared to this now. It is a world apart. Is that someone's base? I'm not sure that's someone's base. I'm going to go down to that. That might actually not be someone's base. Thought it was initially, but yeah, I don't think it is. Oh, that building could work okay as a bar, although I think it's quite embedded in the ground, so it might not be the best option. Or a cafeteria, I suppose, might be a better thing for a shared construction facility. Okay, this is definitely not someone's base. And I'm definitely going to topple over this wind turbine when I put it down. Let's just come back. This is going to make my life too hard. That was adding unnecessary complications to the situation. Let's hope this remains upright. Oh, let's hope this remains upright as I press the other unlock key. Please don't tip, please don't tip, please don't tip. Looked good. Excellent. It's going to be a lot easier to attach to the ground. Now, I saw something on my way in that I think could work quite nicely as a little bit of early decoration and maybe even the home for my survival kit. So over here. Because I've got a survival kit back at base and I want to put an open to everybody survival kit that's got power all the time. And over here we have something with a solar panel that could work very nicely for that. So I might just take it straight home and start working on it. Because what we have here is a little camper van with a solar panel that's broken. Oh, still. It's intact enough. I was thinking I'd fix this thing up, make it into something functional, and with a survival kit possibly in the front. The bed seems to be mostly intact. And then I can either drive or fly it over there, and then we've got a survival kit over there. Especially if I put a decent battery in it. Can't remember if this thing has a battery, but yeah. Put a decent sized battery in this. With the solar panel, it should remain charged. The survival kit doesn't require much power, so we'll see. I think it could work. I think it could be cool. Alright, would this building work as a cafeteria or welcome center? Or maybe just a little workers hut? I think it's going to be a bit too much to dig this out. I think I'd rather convert a different style of building. Yeah, this facility probably wouldn't work great. Now, there is a large grid, large battery there, but I've got heaps of batteries on my base, so I don't think that's needed. I might grab this wind turbine, though. Anything good in the shed? Oh.
Inventory full. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh.
Warning, enemy detected.
That could have gone very badly.
Warning, enemy detected. Inventory full.
Got lucky there.
Warning, enemy
Okay,
detected.
yeah, I get it.
Inventory full.
My sound block. I think that would have actually been the one. Hang on, can I hack this timer block and see? Was that actually going to set off the bomb? Maybe. I think maybe the bomb does its own thing? I don't remember. I set up these traps so long ago, I don't remember how I had them working. Oh boy. Alright, yep, that's fine. It's all good. Off I go. I think I've got enough turbines to start. Hopefully other people will be able to add a few more as we start using up the power. Alright, I've just got the one wind turbine here. I'm glad I picked up these. I thought I had two, but starting the new base with 3 seems like a decent start point. Let's bring this around onto the build area so I can get to work. So let's just fix up this solar panel first. Get all that smoke out of the way, and then I'm going to see just how much space I have inside the van. My hope is that I can fit a survival kit in there, but I'm not 100% sure I can. I know one of the models of this has a survival kit in it, but if I want to leave the table and the bed, which I kind of do. I really like the little bed and that element of it. Just trying to think what other options I have. Obviously, I don't really need the... I wonder if I can put it on the back. If I make this thing a little longer. I don't want to put a trailer on. I don't want to subgrid anything that I don't have to. Should I just get rid of these chairs and put the survival kit there? Or do I get rid of the bed? I really want to keep it. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's go grab a survival kit. I think I can probably attach it out the front. Come with me, survival kit. No, don't get stuck, please. Not sure how I feel about this jumping trick, but I'm using it. I feel like it's so ungainly that I'm okay with it. But yeah, what I'm thinking is survival kit could go right here. Kind of arranged like that. Yeah. Get rid of the cockpit and I'll weld this up so I can see which way it's orientated. Because where the cockpit was, I should be able to put a battery. And then, yeah, we're good. Now, can you roll over, please? There we go. Yeah. Just sitting that under the awning. I'll go grab the telehandler and we can put it in place. Although I might want to put the battery in first, actually. Oh no! That was the only block holding that on? Oh, I'm gonna fix that. It's annoying. And do I want this on wheels? I don't think I do. I have an idea of what I can do with this to make it so that I can connect it to the base. I'll leave the wheels for now, but basically what I'm thinking of doing is cutting a hole. Actually, I'll need to get rid of that. Whoops. Ground the wrong thing. Was not looking at what it said I was grinding. What I was thinking of doing, before I cut a hole in the floor, was to basically put a regular old connector on here, something arranged like that, so it's pointing downward, then try my best to pipe this to the survival kit so that if we do have hydrogen, at least it'll recharge your suit so that you can do the little things when you, so that you can switch it on and off because of that current bug that we've faced with. But yeah, put a connector under here and then that can connect directly to the base, so we don't need any fancy things to connect to the power of the base. It'll all just be ready to go like that. But actually, I probably can do that. Yeah, I can. Just pick the whole thing up with the telehandler, and I'll pop the connector on now. Then the battery can sit directly on top. This should mean that I don't have to fully rely on the solar panel for power to this thing, which I think is probably smarter. Yeah, I think that sits quite well in there. And I'll try and lift up the rest of the thing to make it level again. Might just rebuild that. That might be quicker to rebuild rather than reattach. Okay, so survival kit. It's going to be facing that way, so that's probably best attached to a conveyor conversion like this, because then I can put the little pipe in and actually connect these up. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare attempting to do that. I go merge block there, merge block here. Part of me originally was thinking, oh, I should make this so that it can drive itself around so it'll be easy to move. I feel like I've made that very difficult. I feel like I've made that almost impossible to do at this point. So I'll probably not. I also couldn't think of any really good reason to make it so it could drive itself. I guess if it ends up being put in an awkward spot and needs to be moved, but then we should have enough vehicles there capable of moving something this size. So that shouldn't be required. Oh no! The angle! It doesn't want the angle. Nuts! Alright, fine. Piston it is. There we go. Cool, got the survival kit on. Yeah, that'll be a nice little thing to sit around. Since I've now got this piston on here, let's lift things up a little bit higher and make this stable and flat when it goes back down. Okay, if I have a look at this, how long does that battery last now that we've just got survival kit and nothing else really drawing power on this? Battery lasts 2 whole days. That's not all that long. Yeah, I probably do need to get... How much power can I don't know how much power a small grid solar panel can actually put out. And it is too late at night for me to find out anytime soon. Yeah. Oh well. I may discover in the morning. I always find the transition between stuff supporting a survival kit and the survival kit itself quite awkward. But I think this looks alright. I just add a plate there. Probably need something on this back end as well. Kind of makes it look like it's actually being held by that support. And then let's use these in between. But it's a surprisingly common sort of design challenge that I run into, that it's taken me a long time to come up with anything that I was properly happy with. There we go. That looks fairly stable and supported. Now I need a set of stairs so I can actually get inside. There we go. Can walk up, look around, get to the survival kit. Yeah. I'm happy with this as a start of the new base. Now I just need to finish off this awning so it looks the part. In the original design of this bit of scrap, there were a couple of little chairs. I'm probably not going to build them just to... because I don't know that they add a huge amount to the ambience of this. But they do add a couple of extra grids that might become problematic once we're at the stage of having a whole bunch of stuff at the new facility. But there is a part of me that's like, well, you know what? Instead of worrying about these things ahead of time, maybe I should just chance it. And then there's the sensible part of me that's like, no, because that'll be really annoying. Trying to figure out which grids to get rid of and which ones to keep after you've already established stuff. No. Lit up survival kit. Let's make sure this is shared with everyone. Share with all. Launch facility. Survival kit. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. I think this is going to work pretty well. It's got the solar panel, so it's got some emergency backup. It shouldn't completely run out of power, but I just have to hope for the moment. But because that connector won't really need to hope for that long, so I can, next job, set up a connector to hook this up to as part of the new facility. I think this is a great start. Got little chairs you can recharge at if someone's already using the survival kit. Yeah. Feels homely. Homely. Feels like a place you could call home. I want to find a hangar. I feel like a hangar is a good place to begin with for a launch facility. Maybe we need a few hangars so people can build inside those Quonset hut hangars. Annoyingly, it's night, so I can't go out and hunt for it. Maybe I could work on this truck then. Let's see if this can function. First of all, it is on short suspension, so that's, you know, putting myself at great risk. But if I can make this truck work and make it my fuel tanker, that'll be cool. That'll be something I can do for the night. May have to trim some of the mud guards, but we'll see. If I can get away. See how much I can get away with. I think I'll probably need to rip out this engine and replace it with a battery. Let's get... Oh, is there a battery on this or are the engines just running? Oh, there are two small batteries. Okay. I'll last a little while. And that means I can put a piston on to lift this up so that I can get the wheels on. Oh, let me add the wheel. Yes. No, I had a feeling that one wouldn't allow me. It needs to get higher. Right, that's going to get me an extra meter. In an odd way, but whatever. Yeah. Cool. All the wheels can actually be added. That makes me feel a lot more confident about driving this, even though it is short suspensions, and I probably shouldn't use short suspensions on a server because bad. Unless I end up driving this truck a lot, I'm going to try and get away with it. So next thing is where to put the hitch. And I think, so if I put a rotor there, that's going to allow this to spin. I need to lift it a little bit higher and then have some up down. And that's it. That's all I want. I'm not going to have roll for this trailer. I'm just going to have left, right, up, down. I think I might end up, rather than stealing this rail car and repurposing it because the heights are all wrong, I might try and grab one of the flatliners and turn it into a trailer instead. Attempt at driving. I need to turn off steer on those rear wheels. There we go. Oh, why isn't that side steering? Is the suspension busted? The suspension is busted. Okay. It does technically drive, so I'll call that a win. Now, short wheel suspensions and the like, perfectly fine in single player. They just get iffy in multiplayer environments where there's a bit of latency. As soon as the position of the wheels gets a little bit uncertain, they can run into stuff. I'm gonna give that maximum displacement. Let's go get a flatliner. This is gonna be need to possibly have the front end kind of goosenecked or the whole thing lifted a bit, I guess. Just looking at the height of the deck compared to the height of where the hitch is going to sit. I think maybe a bit of a gooseneck where the cab currently is could work. Oh, I just had an idea. So, obviously the launch vehicle, the escape vehicle, is going to need to be small grid. It's going to be pretty big in small grid, but it's going to need to be small grid because we don't have large grid gyroscopes. I'm probably going to want to use all of my small grid tanks on the launch vehicle rather than on a truck like this. So I should try and fit this with a large grid tank instead of the small grid tank. So it'll be subgridded on there. That would make this work. I mean, the tank will be kind of enormous on it, but it should work really well as a refueling vehicle then. I like this plan. I like this plan. All right, I gotta get a battery on this thing, lift it up, get those wheels on, and then we can align it and see where I need this to be to link up. See if this angle works. It's a bit awkward, but might work. Thinking is if I can add these wheels, I can then lower it down and then I can lift it up straight. Yeah, I think that'll line up about right. This is obviously a much larger trailer than I was originally envisaging, so I wonder if I should trim it a bit shorter, because the goosenecks added a lot of length. Not sure. Not sure, not sure, not sure. I should really decide it before I put it all together. Get that alongside the truck. Imagining the truck back. No, I think it'll be okay. Right, let's have a look now that it's actually aligned up. No, I think that works alright. It's a longer semi-style, but yeah, I think it'll work. This wall bit is probably going to be something I remove. I'm just leaving it there for the moment. Because I haven't decided how I'm going to put the large hydrogen tank on there. The large grid hydrogen tank. So I need to figure that out before I do any of the rest of it. Make sure we set up these wheels to be quite stiff, so they don't collide with stuff. Okay, hinge. Less range for you, please. Maybe we'll just go 10 degrees each way. Maybe 15. Okay. Oh no, the parking brake's on the trailer. That's annoying. Need to build a cockpit or a helm or something to turn that off. There you go, handbrake is off. Now we can test drive. Properly. Okay, what is that rotor doing? Oh, I turned it back on. That's what that rotor's doing. There we go. Now it's driving properly. Yeah. Now I've got the rotor limited to 90 degrees so that when I jackknife, that's as far as I can go. But the goose hitch is working well. I'm happy. Now I've just got to get that battery fitted in the front of this thing. I should probably reverse it up and give myself a bit more space for the telehandler. I'm really happy with this. Yeah, nice. Part of me is tempted to leave the truck smashed up the way it is. I may well do that. Let's get rid of this stuff on the front, which I'll have to rebuild. That's going to be the easiest way to get the battery in and the engine out. No! The engine was a critical component! Oh, that's so bad! Oh, no! Oh, no! It's... Oh, why? Why didn't I check? Oh! Oh, that's so bad! The wheels just came off. Both of them. Ugh. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. Let's fix my stupid mistake. Need to build off the side. So I can put piston down. So then I can lift this whole thing up. Put the battery in and then attach the wheels to the battery. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad because that was just the wheels really that came off. Is anything attached to that engine? Doesn't look like it. I mean, this is actually going to make it easier to get the battery in there. Because now I can slide it in underneath and lift it rather than having to squeeze it in between everything. Hooray! Okay. Fixed. Now I just got to fix up the front. Which I don't actually remember how it was, so I'm going to have to make it up as I go along. That'll do. Cool. Functional truck. Alright, let's clean up the trailer and get that tank off. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to connect up a large grid to this small grid. And the way that's safest would be to set up a connector, a pair of connectors. So a large grid connector on the tank and a small grid connector on the truck. And then pipe that up to somewhere where I can then use that as a fueling thing. The trouble I have with that is a large grid connector is huge. It's the size of this tank that I'm currently picking up. So, is that going to be the best way to do it? Well, actually, I don't need to connect it up to the truck. I could have it landing gear locked to the truck and just have a connector on the back, and I hook up to that connector to transfer the fuel onto the truck. That could work okay, I think. Maybe. We're 5 blocks wide, so we do have the correct width to fit this. How long is this bed? Ooh. It's kind of almost perfect. It's 17 blocks long, which is making me think connector on the tank is the way to go. So let's grab the bits. I'll whack it on one of these tanks that I was kindly delivered. And yeah, we'll pop it on the truck and see how it goes. Does the connector make the whole thing just look a bit ridiculous? Or does it make it look even more suited to the scrapyard setting? This is one of the good parts about connectors not requiring power, is that it makes stuff like this feasible. With connectors requiring power, you wouldn't have been able to hook up to something like this before. I was glad they made that change. And we go a little bit further back so the connector's right visible at the back end. And then I'd probably just drop it there. In fact, I will just drop it there for now. I'll hop out and have a look properly. Because of the side, the sides? Because the sides on the trailer, I think that kind of works. It's kind of cool. Mag plates in the bed. Pop it back in there. Lock them once they're in. Easy. Wouldn't mind thinking of something good to do with the front here. But I'm kind of struggling with anything. If any of you guys can think of something that could be good to put up front here, let me know. I'm going to make it just a bit broader though. With the size of rotor that I'm using, I can't make it any stronger at that end, but I can at least make it more robust than the rest of it, which I think is probably the right call. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. This came together quite well. Kind of wish I hadn't had to walk away from this and miss the entire daytime. So now I'm building again at night, but you know, life's like that sometimes. Yeah, should be good to just quickly put the mag plates in there. I want to use the mag plates on the truck side of things because it'll be easy to control, but also they're smaller, so they'll be less visible. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty centered, pretty aligned. The rear position of the connector should be fine. Let's lock it down, and then we should be able to drive. Yeah! I really wish it was daytime. Also, I'm gonna need to do a thing that I still haven't done yet, which is I really need to set up somewhere where I can hook up more of these vehicles to charge them more easily. I'm happy with this truck for now. Let's see if I can get this through that door. We'll come back to this in half an hour when I've kind of lined it up and realized that I can't actually get there. Let's move this because it's very much in the way. Give myself at least a fighting chance to get this through this doorway. See if I can hook up another connector the same way I've got the other one for the flatliner so that I can keep this thing charged. Oh. I mean, I didn't get it first go, but I'm still kind of chuffed that I've gotten this through that doorway at all. As it is a very tight fit. Oh, nice. The whole thing can fit inside here. Cool. So I can build another connector like that one over there. I'll have a way to power this up. At this stage, I have not remotely thought about how I'm going to get hydrogen into this, as in where on the base that might happen, where on what base that might happen. That's future problems. So I decided to take the crane to bring this over to the new base because it's damaged on there. Anyway, I decided to take the crane over because it's got a bit of cargo space. I need a bit of cargo space to be able to build the connector that I need to build to lock this thing down to the ground. And I also need, well, the ability with the wind turbines to be able to place this, to like lift it up, put a merge block in and then drop it down. It's probably doable with the way that I've thought about setting this up with the nugget, but it just felt like it was going to be a bit difficult to carry the components for a connector and merge blocks and all the others. It would have taken multiple trips, whereas crane, I can do it in one trip, I think. Unless it turns out that I've forgotten something, which is entirely plausible. Okay, let's get this thing set up. Oop, stop, don't knock it over. So what I need is a connector in the ground hooked up to some grids that hook up to this wind turbine, and that'll generate power. I think what I'd like to do here is possibly have my grid closer to the actual elevation of the surrounding terrain. So that means digging a small hole and then placing the first block down in the hole so that future blocks are pretty much at the height of the lake bed. The advantage of this is mainly that we don't need ramps then. Of course, depending on the scale that this is built to, eventually, may need ramps anyway, as the as the curvature of the planet starts to come into play. Because that is a thing. Do something like that, then put merge block on there and a merge block on the side here. I can then just hook those two up to each other. That's going to get that down, and then I can build the connector. I wonder how awkward this is going to be to weld up. Oh, not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. Okay, we have a connector. I'm going to pop this thing down first. There we go. Let it go. Let's lock it. Switch lock. Let's get the crane to put the other bit in place. We have functional wind turbine that I probably should have taken ownership of. I'll have to sort that out once I come back with something that I can utilize for that. What can I even fix that with? I don't know. Either way, maybe I can do it when I come back here with some other people to help. So the launch facility prep is well underway. I do want to move a cargo container over there at some stage soon, but I think it can have a bit more prep done before then, and hopefully get a few more people to help out with getting that prep done more quickly, which will be nice. I was thinking of setting up some sort of fuel generator module on my base here to get some of that ice processed, but I'm still torn on that. So what I'm going to do instead is attach more solar panels to my sign because it does not get enough power to last through the night. I should also try and carry a couple of extra batteries up there so that the batteries actually stay, so there's more charge that can be held. I've got a few small grid solar panels around here, so I'm going to go try and see how many of them I can repair. I'm thinking I should be able to get, so these are the colorable ones. Since the solar panels are pretty much invisible, I might try and use the non-colorable ones, which are... Where did I see them? Oh, there we go. On the back of this one. I might grab this whole truck with the nugget and bring it over so I can repair those three and hook them all together down here. Then I'll hook the three of them onto the solar panel that's up there. I think it's going to be the most efficient way to do things. Whoops. The collision of that is so much bigger than I remembered. Whoops. That was bound to happen. Those gigantic wind turbines are a bit awkward. I'm going to drop this down here, I think, on the voxel. So I can just grind down the rest of the truck because I don't really need the truck. Oh. Oh, I was about to run into that light post. It's good to clean up a bit of my scrapyard so that I can, well, go and collect some more stuff to put in it. See what other useful stuff I can get to put towards the evacuation ship, I guess. And also start having a bit of a think about how I might be able to incorporate various grids I know are out there into a design for the escape ship. 1, 2, and 3. Move them away so I don't accidentally grind them down while I'm grinding down the rest of this truck. I've been hearing some rumors about some new vehicles that people have designed as escorts for the train, which I'm really excited to see on our next ice expedition.
Full.
Because we're still going to need to do a few more of those, but hopefully we'll be able to do them in much quicker succession than we have previously because people are better prepared and we know what works. Oh, jeez. I was about to say, I'm not quite strong enough to pick this up, but strong enough to drag it around. I've just got to try and get these lined up. There we go. Those two are linked. Might add some extra batteries to these while they're down here as well, just so I can do it all in one go. Not sure how many batteries I need, but maybe another 2 or 3 teeny ones. I don't really have any of the bigger batteries left. But it is reassuring that the sign is not dropped at the moment, which means it is working. It's just wrong.
Low.
Oh, and I need to do something with this pig. Mr. Chunky, kind of want a duplicate of it. Put 2 little pigs over a little entryway that's to our launch pad. I don't know. It's tempting me. It's very tempting. And that dude's just creepy. I was coming in here to charge. I don't know why I decided to come inside. I could have sat outside and done it. But still. Okay, step 1, climb up top and see where I need to put the merge blocks. Merge block there. I should be able to put the next 3 down that way. How charged up is the battery? Wait, I've already got 4 batteries on here. And I've only got 1.21 kilowatt hours. Yeah, I don't need more batteries. I just need the solar panels. Cool, cool, cool. That makes life easier. Wee. Oh, wee. Yeah. Man, I love... Ladders are quick that way, at least. Hopefully 4 times as much power is enough power. No! Well... 3 times as much power, then. I have to repair the foot again. And I have to go up there and clean up those subgrids. Those bits of wreckage. Because they're setting off the sign. Ah! Can't believe I lost the whole solar panel. Well. I don't know what to say about that. This is really annoying. And that should be all the bits fixed up. Oh, what the? Spent the night up here, the stars were pretty. Armfu. Okay. Apparently we have a hobo bed in the bridge. Cool. Alright, how quick is power going into this now? Fully recharged in 3 hours. Oh, hang on. Current output, 2.99 kilowatts. Current input, 27 kilowatts. Yeah, that should be enough. Because, yeah, it's almost 10 times as much power input during daylight hours. So that should last through the night. Assuming the batteries have enough storage space for that. Yeah, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Something else I want to fix while I'm thinking about it is the linkage between the 2 drill cars. Oh, actually, I probably want to upgrade this drill too. But the linkage between these 2 cars needs to not break next time. And I think I know, well, I think I know why it's a bit more susceptible to it than other bits might have been. These wheels need to have higher suspension strength. These ones at the front. Because as this fills with stuff, these get depressed, which puts that link closer to the ground. If I make sure these are stronger, that hopefully won't happen. So I might push them all up to 30% and see if that makes the difference. Since these aren't providing actual oh wow, that's only at 6%. Since these aren't providing propulsion on these trailers, the wheels don't need to stay in contact with the ground all the time. It's only really the wheels at the front on the locomotive that need to try and keep all of the wheels in contact with the ground all the time. This can have quite stiff suspension and it shouldn't actually be a problem. In fact, I could probably do that for every single wheel on the train. Except for the ones on the locomotive. Oh. I'm connected to the base. It's like, why does this have short suspensions? There we go. Okay. Slowly increase the strength up to 30%. Hopefully that reduces the chance of a bottoming out. And also, let's make the wheels shiny. I had them as silver, but I think white retro is better. It's brighter. Chrome! All shiny and chrome. Well, at this point, all I need to do is sort through all this scrap, find the bits that are useful for building an escape ship, prep them as best I can, so that when I get a whole bunch of people here, we can go and start building this launch facility and get something built that'll be, hopefully, something really cool to launch from. So there's all that and plenty more to come, and I will see you then.